So you went to Paula's tower, where Commodore Crux had led you, with the intention of finding a map to Doomspace. And Paula didn't have one, just like every other time you've ever gone to find something specific in a shop. But she did have a useful magical item for you, a wild space orrery. A way to see what planets, moons, galactic objects are within a system once you're there. And leaving the tower with this orrery, a cosmic storm has landed. The crackling purple-pink lightning around the asteroid that this tower is based on, and looming in the midst of that lightning, the shape of a largely destroyed vessel. A damaged, shattered version of a similar galleon to what you'd originally taken to space on. Standing at the rail, some distance away from the dock, staring at you, figure of an undead pirate. One hand detached from the shoulder, waving. And as he looks out at you, you hear Crux hiss, "Vampirates!" And just quietly at the back, Paula goes, "Damn it." As the undead captain, his boot on the rail of this galleon, leans out, pushes off, launches himself to land on the docks. I've lost his token. Please hold.
What if you missed?
I've actually lost his token, I'm not sure how.
Just taking a sweet time making that entrance.
This is awkward.
Looks like he's jumping in slow motion.
He is jumping in slow motion.
I mean,
It's fine, we'll solve this in a minute.
He's a vampire, he's got to do everything in style.
Interesting.
Sorry, I just realised my webcam thing has been going weird. Apparently it's doing all the inputs. And I'm doing on other things.
Nonetheless, he jumps across the dock ahead of you. Well, I wonder where his token is. And he lands on the dock, looks towards you all. And you see his eyes pass over each of you until eventually arriving to Paula at the back of the group. As this vampire locks eyes with her. He nods and... "Paula, I'll be finding a prisoner for you. One you'll be interested in." Doesn't seem immediately hostile. Does seem like he doesn't have a bloody token, though. 1 second.
He is hiding under Commodore Cruxes, who apparently has a larger token than everyone else.
Just slightly. Big boy.
He's a big boy. It's fine, we will
Did
solve
he
this.
just say he's got a prisoner, or...?
He said he's got a prisoner, and he seemed to imply that Paula would be interested in said prisoner.
I think I might have an idea what this prisoner might refer to.
As he looks over to Paula and she nudges who she stood next to. She nudges Rune. That's Grimzod. I didn't expect him to be here. You glance back. She's trying to hide behind Crux, even though it's clear that everybody here knows that she's there.
This is wildly convenient.
Oh, that's not right. That's a monkey. Token's still broken. Okay, it's fine. I'll fix it this time.
Hooray!
He steps in on the edge of the dock, and you see this figure more clearly.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm going with the camera interface.
I think it's one of them. If she's nudged me, I'm like looking at her, just like slightly confused why she's hiding at this point. It's like he's seen you. He knows you're here.
Well, make him go away or something.
He appears to have something for you.
The vampirate looks over the rest of you. I see you be making new friends, Topola. He steps forwards a couple of steps, reaches out his remaining hand, the hand that's still attached, as if to shake hands with you, Sol. You're in front.
I take a step towards him to shake his hand, since he's apparently like miles away from me and expects me to walk to him.
Yeah, he doesn't get off the dock.
I just walk. Okay, fair. I would just walk over and shake his hand and say, "Good to meet you, sir. What is your name?"
I be Captain Grimsod Garrenhale.
Oh, how convenient. We were meant to look for you.
Well, here I be. What do you want of me?
Well, our mutual friend Topola over there, gestures at behind us. She mentioned that you owed her a favor, and she'd be willing for us to use that favor to locate Doomspace.
He pauses for a second, looks over each of you. You don't be looking like the astral types. Why you be wanting to go to Doomspace?
We hear the resistance is there.
And perhaps ye be interested in me prisoner too.
Perhaps.
Apollo, me sweet, get out from behind that hippo.
I think you'll find that he's a GIF, sir.
Get out from behind the jiffo.
Smooth.
All crunchy.
You turn around. Paula's most definitely pretending she's not there right now. There.
A little shy. Maybe we could just bring the prisoner out.
I suppose we can. I'll be back. And he walks to the edge of the dock, looks out to where his ship is, launch himself off the edge of the dock. You watch him float off.
Learn how to do that.
Well, he seems like an interesting man.
Hmm.
I say, slowly remembering my character's accent.
Yeah.
Topola, you mentioned you had some previous relationship with this Grimzod. He seems friendly. Why are you hiding?
I prefer not to talk to him since it was awkward last time we spoke.
He doesn't seem to bear you any ill will.
Not yet, no, but
If he was to try anything you didn't like, you could maybe just say a code word and we could always intervene to pull the conversation away from yourself.
right, a code word. Yes. Let's do that.
What word?
It needs to be something that could sound natural in conversation, but tip us off. Something you wouldn't normally say. What about looks around? What about bird droppings?
Sort of, she looks around as well. I suppose that could work.
Just slip it into a sentence, and we'll try to pull the conversation away from the topic.
Okay.
Well, who do you think he's bringing as a prisoner, and why?
I don't know. So, I don't know why I'd come here with whoever it is, certainly.
Well, he said it might be of interest to us as well, so... I mean...
This place doesn't really seem set up to house prisoners.
No, not really. I don't even have a lock on my door. I mean, it's not like you can get anywhere from here.
Perhaps we should be slightly wary?
We'll be cautious.
Where are the zombies right now?
They are all sort of... I didn't put them on this map for convenience's sake, but they're milling around sort of the edge of the asteroid here. Getting ready to load back into the boat to go back.
Okay.
Just chilling.
In case it comes up.
No, for the sake of reference. If you're interested.
Reintroducing Eric, Merrick, Xaryxis,
Derek.
and Derek, of course. The first.
Anyone else just got the strangest urge to just like push them off the side?
Call of the Void.
Yeah.
Just because they can't get it themselves, so someone else can do it for them.
I don't think Andy would be too pleased to come back and find you pushing zombies off an asteroid.
All in the name of science.
I'm sure we could sell it to Velas somehow.
He's standing right there.
Yeah, sell it. Like, look how they float, how they react in their space. You know?
Maybe if we have some free time later, we can consider it.
As you stare at the zombies, trying to figure out the best way to de-seat them, you see Grimzod comes onto deck of his vessel again. Slung over his shoulder is a figure in what seems from this distance to be a sort of ornate black dress or robe, maybe, accented with threads of silver and gold. Some sort of high collar that rises behind the head, from the neck up behind the head, and forms a shape back there. And he sort of seems to judge the weight on his shoulder as he stands on the edge of the rail again, and once again hops back over this dock, carrying this other prisoner, as he claims. And as he lands, he puts her down on the floor. You see now it is a female figure, an elf, an astro elf, possibly, in this ornate dress and this high headdress.
Be in any sort of style that we'd recognise to, like, maybe a status or anything.
Make me a perception check. Just go with perception on this.
Perception. No.
Yeah, you're not sure. There's something familiar about it, but you can't quite place it.
Okay. Just keep an eye on walking up.
Yeah. And he steps forwards, carrying this prisoner.
Does she look conscious?
She seems unconscious.
Okay.
She was sort of slung over his shoulder. She seems like a dead weight. As he walks closer to you and he puts her down. He steps up to the edge of the dock and he puts her down onto the asteroid proper. He sort of nods at one of the zombies as he moves close to them.
He's not setting any sort of foot off the dock, is he?
No.
Perhaps he
from what I can
follows
see.
vampire rules and he's not been invited in.
Hmm.
Topola, is this person familiar to you?
She steps forwards and looks over. No, I don't recognize them, but those markings on the robes and the headdress there. She leans closer to you to whisper. I think she's Xaryxian. Those patterns, they're similar to those ones on your zombies.
So she's a Xaryxian high status lady.
I think so.
Why would he bring her here then?
Don't know, I don't control him. I'd rather he wasn't here.
Grimzod, who is this person you've laid down before us?
She be a source of intelligence or a weapon. I'd be liberating her from a star moth a few days ago. She's been in the brig. And I knew Topola and the big gif over there. They'd be trying to fight these people. So I bring her here.
Very thoughtful.
But is the main resistance not in Doom space? Would it not have made more sense to take her there?
You raise a good point, Blue Man. And he reaches down and grabs onto her arm and starts pulling her back up onto his shoulder.
If you are heading Doom space way, perhaps we could accompany you. We are needing to, or at least follow you. We are needing to head there to meet up with the resistance. But we do not have means of knowing the way.
Aye, you wish to be on me ship?
I'll look at Crooks.
He gives you a sort of heavy shrug.
We do have a ship. Does it need specific accommodations to enter Doom space?
Nay, you just need to know the way. Which I do, and ye don't.
Would our ship not be able to follow yours?
Ye could be doing so. If your Spelljammer knows the way to follow us. If your Spelljammer can follow people.
I can, I guess.
You be the Spelljammer. You with the pinky thing, I see.
Sometimes, yes. Though I did follow someone and got a little bit lost for a while. It'll be okay. I can follow you, I think.
What?
And you wish me to be joining you in this Doom space, this alliance to fight the whatever these people are called.
So, forgive me, we've not properly introduced ourselves.
Aye, you have me.
My name is Sol. This is Calitrix, Ruin, Valis, Raslam, and the pinky thing, as you called her. Her name is Periwinkle. And you already know Commodore Crooks and Topola. We are seeking to join the resistance, as it seems the Zarzian Empire is spreading and wants to cause harm to everybody. So it feels like the best interest to fight against them. Would you be willing to help this cause? Then by all means join us. Otherwise, if you could take us to Doomspace, we could always take the prisoner to the resistance on your behalf.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Bam! 16!
You sound like a good fight, do. I will join ye in your alliance, Admiral Sol.
Just Sol.
I will join ye in your alliance, just Sol.
I give him
Well,
all.
ye be the leader, right? Ye be the one giving the orders.
It's less giving orders, more like directing a stream.
Ye be the stream director. Ye be needing a good hat.
I don't tend to wear much in the way of clothing, gestures itself.
Right then.
Kelly just deposits periwinkle on Sol's head like a hat.
Aye, ye be having a hat. Ye be the Admiral now.
And she kind of like curls up in a ball, sort of a little bit like a Russian fur.
I divot my head in so she's a bit more comfortable.
He just kind of nestles down.
Right then. Do you be riding on my ship or do you be taking your own?
I'll look to everybody. What do you all think? Should we go with this man or just follow?
Brooks's big face leans down to you and goes, "No vampirates on my ship."
That wasn't part of the question, Crooks.
I'm making it clear.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we could try follow, then.
I should warn you that the last time I followed something, I ended up floating in the astral sea for like a few hundred years. Granted, that was the stars and not pirates, vampirates, but like, that was a thing that occurred.
Think of it this way. The ship that we need to follow is almost like a shooting star directing us to our place in the heavens where we are required. If you keep that in mind, perhaps you'd be able to focus on following their ship.
Okay, fair enough. I can try and do that.
I'll turn back to Mr. Grimdark. What's his face? Grimlock? Grimzard?
Captain
Nailed it.
Garganhale.
Oh God, he can read my thoughts outside of
Admiral.
character. I look back at him and okay. We will follow you in our vessel.
Very well. Do you be wanting me prisoner for interrogation?
How long before she wakes up?
Don't know. Hit her pretty hard.
Did she have any, like, magical abilities, or was she particularly stabby, or...
I didn't even to risk it. That's why I hit her pretty hard.
Do we have a
She's got this shiny ring. He holds up one of her hands. You can see the shiny ring.
Do we have a brig on our ship?
You do. It's on the lower level, and Valis would mention it to you if you haven't been down there. Valis has been doing things down there, don't question it.
If you prefer for us to hold her on our vessel, then yes, okay, we can take her. Do you know her name at all?
Nay. I didn't get to the introductions. We were fighting stuff.
So you knocked her out and... Okay.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
On this, okay, we will board our vessel, embark on our vessel, and if you give us a bit of time before heading out, then we will follow you. Does that sound fair?
Hey, very well. He walks over and sort of unceremoniously dumps her into your rowboat.
Ow!
As he gets to the end of the dock, puts one foot on the edge, ready to leap off to his galleon, turns back to you and goes, "Hey, by the way, it'd be 21 days to get to Doom Space. Make sure you be packing the food. I know what you mortals are like." And while his head's still turned back to you, he launched himself off towards his galleon, floats off.
Wow.
Guy's such an anime character. I'll turn back towards the group and just say, do we have enough rations to last us that long?
Brooks's big snout leans down. The galley has enough. We were well stocked.
Fantastic.
I took good berry.
Fantastic.
I've never eaten a good berry.
Okay.
Well, I
One
mean,
berry.
there have been some good berries, but I've never eaten a good berry.
One berry will sustain you for like the entire day. And maybe heal you up a little bit.
Not much
Then why are
for
we bringing
taste, though.
rations?
For the flavour.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 21 days, that's a long time.
This lady's not bound in any way, is she?
No, she's just unconscious. She's not... Her hands aren't bound, she's not wearing manacles or anything. She's just unconscious and been dumped into the boat.
Okay, I'll get in the boat next to her, just... There was a ring was mentioned on her.
Yes, she's wearing... It's a big square ring with sort of purplish gem on one of the fingers on her right hand.
I'm going to remove it.
Remove Gargan Hill on there. Okay, you slide the ring off.
We literally just dealt with somebody who had magic jewelry, so... It seems pertinent. Can I also give her, like, a pat down to see if she has any other items on her? Because it very much seems like this Grimzard has not done any of that.
She's not carrying any weapons openly. Make me a perception check.
19.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be carrying anything other than... So she's wearing this aristocratic gear, high-end dress and such. She doesn't seem to be carrying anything untoward.
Okay. I'll leave her in the boat. Let's come back. Well, Topolo, thank you. Thank you very much for everything. I think that went better than you probably could have hoped. And you never know, if he joins the Resistance, perhaps he'll stay away for a while.
That would be nice.
At the very least, he'll be gone for 42 days.
And you have my orrery. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
She walks back into the tower as the rest of you begin the process of getting back to the second wind. Obviously, you know from coming here, there's a limitation on how many people can get into the jolly boat at once. And with the prisoner there as well, it takes you a couple of trips. But eventually you all manage to return to the decks of the boat. And the prisoner is situated in the brig. All the zombies still making tea on this map. Let's fix that.
Oh, so much tea.
So, we have quite a long trip ahead of us. Callie, you are going to be doing the most of the work, as you are the one getting us there. I'm not quite sure how piloting works in terms of needing breaks, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. If you are becoming tired, please let us know.
I will, thank you. It's quite relaxing.
In relevance to that, you can rest in the chair. Obviously, you won't be actively piloting when you do so, but the ship will carry on going in the direction it was going in, essentially. The same way that a sailing ship would if you left the sails up. Down. If you left the sails down, which is up. If you left the sheets up and the sails down, then it would carry on going. It keeps its momentum, thank you.
Yeah, cool.
So knowing that you're following another vessel going in a straight line, you're okay to go in a straight line and take the rest as you need over the course of the time period.
Cool, sweet. I suppose only needing 4 hours to trance is kind of helpful in this situation too.
Yes. As you return to the ship, Valis quickly goes, "Oh, I've got something I want to look at," and he rushes off downstairs.
Okay.
He seems to be talking to me again. That's positive.
He's very easily distracted.
I'm going to go down with the prisoner and make sure that he doesn't try to turn her. Be too careful.
Yeah.
I will head down to the prisoner.
Yeah. As you step down, the prisoner is on the level below where you currently are. So you step down into the crew quarters. Through this door, the brig's at the end of the hall.
There it is. Can you not see through it? Is it a closed barred door, or is it a see-through door?
It's a door you can see through.
Okay. I'll leave it open just so. This is a horrible corridor.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward one. No, just I'll swap scene for the sake of stream. Here we go.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
As you come down to the brig, and she's still unconscious on this bedroll kind of thing. It's just a bedroll on a block of wood. But as you come into the hallway into the entrance to the brig, you see her eyes open. You see what you know as Astral Elf eyes, the black eyes with the very bright orange pupils. She looks up at you while you're staring through these bars and... What am I doing here?
Welcome aboard the Second Wind.
That's not an answer.
You are here as a prisoner. And I was hoping we could have a conversation. And depending on the result of the conversation, could maybe change your immediate confines.
She looks around the brig, which is fairly minimal, obviously. Looks back to you, and you see she looks her hand for a second and clearly notices that the ring's missing. She steps up towards the bars to face you directly. I am Princess Sadali, daughter of Emperor Zaven and heir to the throne of Xaryxis. You will return my property immediately.
I cannot do that, unfortunately. On the off chance that it is some form of magical weapon that you could use against us. But do know that your property is safe within my possession. And once I am sure that it is not anything untoward, I will give it back. And I will show her the ring so she can see that I've got it.
Why do you keep me here? Is this an attempt at ransom? It will not be paid.
You are a princess of the Zavian Empire, yes?
Rixian.
Apologies. It's spelt differently to how it's pronounced.
I assure you it is not.
Your emperor has been forcefully taking over planets for power, forcefully wiping them out with these strange vines to use them as energy for the Empire. Me and my comrades were on one of these planets as that started to happen, and were attacked as we were leaving.
This is not my father's doing. He lies in Xaryxis on his deathbed. It is my brother, Zeleth. He denied me my birthright. He seized control of the Navy. The courts banished me, and he orchestrated this attack that you speak of. These vines. The astral seeds harvested from the star in our system. When they have finished draining your planets, they will replenish our star. We will live on. Zeleth told his minions to deposit me on your world, the one that was going to be destroyed, so that I could die there also, but fortunately for me, your vampirate friends attacked. I assume you have a crew.
You were a prisoner of your own people.
Yes. If you and your crew and your strange hat help me become Empress, I will undo the damage that has been dealt. I will save your world.
I would like to make an insight check on that one, please.
Go for it.
That's a big old 10.
She seems rational. She doesn't seem like she has... I mean, she's behind bars, and most people you assume would say things to get them out from behind bars. She doesn't seem to be lying. She doesn't seem to be irrational in any way. It seems like what she's told you is a true story, and she wants to help you. You're not quite sure what her motives for that are, but it seems like she's telling the truth about wanting to help you.
Okay. If you were to become Empress, which, as you say, is your birthright, I presume you are the eldest of your, between you and your brother. If you were to become Empress, what would that mean? You say your star is needing to be replenished. How would you go about doing this? As currently it is, what is being done is extremely destructive. Would you continue this? Or would you find another way?
No, if I take the throne, I can perform the astral rituals in the Temple of Light on Xaryxis. It will destroy the star and it will save your world. We don't need the star. It's already dying. Zelith wants it because of the power that it brings, but if you help me, if I take the throne, I can destroy it. It's the only way to save your world.
I see. You have been very open and forthcoming to me. And you have introduced yourself, and I have not, and I apologize. My name is Sol. If you would be willing to wait a small while I, as I mentioned before, check this ring just for the safety of the crew on this ship, I will discuss with them what you have told me, and I will return to you in due course. I am unsure what will happen going forwards, but you being as forthcoming as you can is definitely to the benefit of all of us, I believe. Is there anything other than returning your property that you require immediately? Are you injured?
No, I am fine. I just wish my ring back. It indicates my position in the Empire. It's the Ring of the Air.
I see. I will return it after I have checked it over, and I will make sure that it is returned to you in time.
Very well, do as you must.
I'll turn and I will leave and go back up to the top of the deck to go find the majority of everyone else.
Yeah. As you turn, you see her sit back down on the bedroll there. And you turn to the main decks.
So everybody, the prisoner is awake, and I have just spoken with her.
What did she have to say?
She is Princess Zidali, the daughter of the Emperor of the Xaryxis Empire. She mentioned that the Emperor currently lies on his deathbed. Her brother usurped the throne, which should be hers by birthright, and he is the one attempting to drain planets the way we've seen in order to replenish a star that he would be able to use as a power source. She has mentioned that if we could return her to the throne, she would be able to perform a ritual of light which would destroy the star. She mentioned that they do not need it, and it is already dying.
How can we be sure she's telling the truth? I mean,
She seemed very trustworthy, but I do agree. I couldn't tell she was lying, whether or not she's a skilled liar, or I'm too trusting, I don't know, but she seemed more angry, and not angry at her current situation. Apparently she was taken prisoner and by her own people to be deposited on Terra. No? What's the planet called? Toril? That's close. To be deposited on Toril and to die along with the planet. If I could be so blunt, I think she is furious at her brother and relishing the opportunity to potentially get back at him.
I'm aware of everything that goes on the ship while I'm in the Spelljammer's chair, yeah? Can I roll an insight on her as well?
Yeah. Well, she was telling the truth to Sol, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, you would have heard the entire conversation between her and Sol.
Yeah.
Ooh, tasty.
Nice.
Yeah. That'll be like the only one of tonight, and it's probably not actually that important.
She...
Yell a heartbeat.
you're listening to her, and you have a better opportunity to pick up on the meaning behind her words because you're not engaged in the conversation. You don't have to think about how to respond at the same time. And with that amount of focus you can put into it, you can definitely tell that she seems to be truthful about what she says, but it's not because she's empathetic to you or sympathetic to your plight at all. She just wants revenge on her brother, and she thinks that you guys who are attempting to fight the Empire are a way that she can gain that. She's speaking from a place of vengeance rather than sympathy. But it seems everything she was saying to Sol is true.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You guys are too far away for me to have this conversation with you, so I'm just going to sit in my chair and
yell out the door.
I don't know. She seems legit. I'm not shouting because that'll just be weird down the microphone.
The stage shouting.
Yeah, I don't know. She seems reasonably angry. I do agree with you on that, Sol.
What is the old adage? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Perhaps it would be beneficial to support her to return to her throne if she can stop whatever is happening. I feel this brother, whose name was not typed in so I couldn't write it down.
Apologies, Zella.
Zelef. Her brother Zelef, I believe, will only cause more harm after receiving this power. I don't know what this power entails, but if it's an entire star, it cannot be a small amount.
Be that as it may, I don't think taking this princess to the rebellion is a good idea, whether she is telling the truth or not.
What if they do not know she is a princess? We have 2 astral elves with us. Why not have a third?
I mean,
Till the moment we get her back to her throne, she could just be another person willing to join the resistance.
but we have to also discuss this with what's his face? Has it come Grimzod? To not openly discuss that she is a prisoner in that case. And do you think that would be easy?
Maybe
I do not know how to judge Grimzod.
Maybe we could just dress her up like one of the zombies.
Perhaps. I feel that could be more apparent if she's pretending. It would be the zombie not doing whatever it is they do. I feel if we explain to Grimzod that she has agreed to fight with us rather than against us, and she is no longer a prisoner and she's under our command, he might just be okay with it. He seems unusual and maybe just wouldn't question it.
Maybe. What does the captain think?
Commodore?
Commodore.
Crux?
Yes,
Have you been listening?
Oi. I mean, I'm not sure I trust one of the Xaryxians, but perhaps she can give us the insight into their weaknesses. You're in charge, Sol. You have the heart.
The periwinkle is not technically a hat, but She's keeping the top of my head warm.
She just snuggles down a little bit further into you.
A small pseudopod comes up and scritches her on the head.
She just sort of preens a little bit.
I think we give this person a chance. Everybody has the means and the facilities to change, and it seems very much that she was forced into a role of antagonist by her brother, and due to his actions, she continues to seem to be an antagonist to all. She's very much alone right now, and I feel if we can help each other, and it's the benefit to all the stars around, then why not give her a bit of trust?
I mean, if we were to gain anything from said princess, then maybe trust can be earned. But, I mean, she's princess of the empire that is destroying planets.
Yes, yes, she mentioned it as her brother destroying planets to recharge a star to give himself power. The previous emperor was clearly not doing this, as we were on Toril for years and years. This very much seems like a grab for power as opposed to a this is our way of life. If she claims she can even destroy the star and it will free the planets that have these vines on them, Toril could be saved before it dies, as well as every other planet that's been infested with these vines that is still alive. It seems a lot to gain, and if she does try to betray us at the final hour, we would just have to be prepared for that risk and deal with it when the time arises. I think there's more to gain.
Yeah, but that's a lot of trust you're asking to put into somebody that
I trusted all of you. Any one of you could have slit my throat in my sleep. I invited all of you to join me on our adventures.
We're not destroying planets.
No, but how was I to know that any of you did not have the means to do something like that? You have to reach out trust to receive trust. And right now we're in the position of holding all the cards. We need to give her a bit of trust so she can give some back. And if it does turn and bite us, we have proven ourselves competent at dealing with threats time and time again. She would just become another threat to deal with.
Just supposed to be earned, not given.
It works both ways. You cannot earn trust without being given trust. You cannot expect a dog to come and become your friend without first showing that you're willing to be a friend to the creature.
But dogs have a more kind nature than these people. Xaryxian.
And how do you know what a Xaryxian is like? We have met soldiers. We have never met and spoken with an individual. With Calatrix, Valis are both astral elves. Would you claim that they are the same as a Xaryxian?
Xaryxian?
No, they are not Xaryxian. There's different, like...
What is the difference between a Xaryxian and somebody from Toril?
The Xaryxian are claiming planets.
Under the orders of their emperor, yes. They're not going out of their way individually to do this.
Yes, I completely understand that, but what you're saying is we are to trust the princess of this empire.
Yes.
With what, just her words?
Yes.
That's it?
Her words and the deeds she will come to do. Right now, she is in a prison cell. Well, how do you expect for her to show that she is willing to help while she's in there? Of course, I'm not saying turn your back on her and trust her implicitly, but we have to trust her enough to have the opportunity to prove herself.
And what opportunity do you think we should give her? Let her roam free when we get to the rebellion and see what happens there?
We have 21 days before we get to the rebellion. That's 21 days for us to get to know her, and for her to get to know us.
What is she doing right now?
She is waiting in her cell. I said I'd speak to you before I would potentially see to her again. And I want to check out this ring she was wearing in case it is containing any kind of magic. I think, where can she go? Currently, she will be on a ship with all of us. Calatrix, you seem to have, if my memory serves, you can almost feel everything on this ship while you're at the helm. She can't go anywhere without Calatrix knowing, and she can't leave the ship because where would she go? She would die in the open space. Why not talk with her over this time, and when we reach the rebellion, perhaps we can establish a plan then, see what the rebellion is planning. Her main goal currently seems to be to return to her throne.
She seems pretty set on vengeance.
I mean, I'm not saying don't talk to her. What you're asking is to trust her.
Yes, the same way that I trusted you into joining our party when you approached us because you saw a pink platypus.
Periwinkle's purple.
Pinky purple. I apologize.
What is the prisoner currently doing?
She's sat on the bedroll. As far as you can tell, doing nothing. She's just sitting there, legs crossed, eyes closed.
Okay. So, what if we asked Valis if he would give her a sort of escort of the various Erics and Xaryxis and Derricks and whatever else?
I
Erics?
feel it's unnecessary. What would they do? He would have to order them to just follow her? She can't go anywhere on this vessel without you knowing about it. And the zombies wouldn't be able to tell us if she did anything. They would just follow her. Or kill her.
I mean, they'd basically act as a barrier between her and us, but also it would stop the zombies from making ridiculous amounts of tea like they're doing in the kitchen right now.
I don't... Whatever Valis is up to right now, I think... Do you trust me?
I do.
And Rune?
No.
Do you trust me, Rune?
I trust you. Doesn't mean I trust all your decisions.
Then trust my decision on this occasion.
I don't. If we're gonna talk to her, I mean, she can stay in the brig. She can talk in the brig.
I'm saying we let her roam free, as there is nowhere she can go on this ship without Calatrix knowing. If she meant us harm, Calatrix would know she was approaching one of us before anybody else. And I will even take it as my personal charge to stay with her at most of times, apart from when I need to rest, wherein I'm sure somebody else could monitor her for the period of time that I sleep, to make sure that she does nothing untoward. I feel if we are accepting her as an ally, albeit a tenuous ally, based on her position and where she is from, there is no reason to keep her as an antagonist against us. If we keep her in a prison cell for 21 days and expect her to help us with open arms, that's just not how it works.
Saying keep her in the brig for 21 days, but I don't think we should. I mean, she's literally just been kidnapped by somebody, thrown in a prison, and said that she's the princess of the empire that are destroying things, but she's not with them. And now it's just like, yeah, let's roam free?
What I'm saying, Rune, is that she is what she had told me, and I could not sense she was lying, and neither could Xaryxis. She was held as a prisoner by her own people to be taken to Toriel to die with everybody else on the planet. She was kidnapped from that ship by our vampire friend, who happened to just raid them at a opportune time. She was taken from being a prisoner to being another prisoner. We have now had this prisoner transferred to us, and I believe it's the first time anybody has spoken to her. She wants to get back to her throne to remove her brother, who she seems to be very upset about, and rule as she was intended. If she rules, she says she will destroy the star, which is causing all these problems, and then will go about ruling her people like any monarch would. I don't see how just because she is related to the person doing these horrific deeds means that she also wants to do these horrific deeds.
I just don't think we should give her all the trust from the off.
Then
Just
what would
because
you
we've had
suggest
one
instead?
conversation with her.
What would you suggest?
More
then?
information. Like, more, just...
What kind of information?
I don't know, anything about the Empire. Anything that, might actually show a little bit more of, she's against what's being done. She can help us stop this.
If you wish to speak with her, I'm not going to stop you. I need to check out this ring anyway. If you wish to have a conversation with her, just remember, she is a person who has been passed from prisoner to prisoner. Perhaps if you speak with her, that will be the start of you being able to trust her.
You're very adamant on us trusting her.
Why not? It's better to trust somebody than to mistrust everybody. If you mistrust everybody, your world is very narrowed.
But I have found that not everything is black and white.
Not everything is black and white, but if you keep everything black, you will forever be blind. Go and have a conversation with her. Perhaps you can learn something I didn't. I will sit with this ring and try to discern if there is any magic in it. And Sol will walk and sit in the corner here with the ring.
Alright. Rune, are you going to go and speak with the princess?
I'm not going to go down straight away.
Okay.
But I probably will in the end.
Fair enough. And as the vessels move forwards, you see off ahead the last breath. Garganhale's flagship fades out in the edge of wild space. As you follow it, the colours of wild space around you grow muted, fading into this deepening silver haze. And soon you're immersed in the familiar silver clouds of the astral sea. You start to move towards Doom space. This is a 21-day trip, so anything you wish to do during this time, if you wish to spend some time conversing with other members of this crew, or with Garganhale, you can wave him across. Or if you wish to interview the prisoner some more.
Does that Garganhale just jump between ships? Is it like
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Crooks was very clear about not having him on his ship.
True.
Secret.
What secret
do have-
rendezvous?
You do have 2 robots. You could, roll through the astral sea.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah, just chilling.
Sol, you take some time to study this ring. It is definitely magical. Although you're not sure if it's really intended to be an item of power or just something that indicates her position, a signet ring, as it were. Her position within the Empire. It is a ring of shooting stars. It can produce
Oh,
light
I like that.
or lightning in various forms.
So
Not-
that ring is...
Not something that seems overly powerful, but
Okay.
something with some power, certainly.
Okay. But Sol knows that it could be used for harm, but probably couldn't immediately take us all out.
Yeah, there's a limit to how much it could do, as in it has charges mechanically.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that... Like, it could definitely do you harm if someone was to use it maliciously. You wouldn't think that that on its own would be enough of a weapon to be concerned about, kind of thing. It
Okay.
seems like it's more of a last stand. If all your weapons get stolen, you've still got this signet ring that has some power within it.
Cool. Sol would keep that knowledge to himself, and he would wait until after Rune had spoken with the princess before going back down to see her.
Okay. We have Rune back.
Yes.
Oh. What's falling over? No, never mind. You take some time traveling through the astral sea. So at some point, if you wish to speak to the princess, you will have whatever opportunity you choose to do so.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just collect thoughts and then go and have a chat. Once I make sure everything's set up and fine with what's going on with the ship, and then attempt to have a chat.
Yeah. So you go down and you see in the brig through the bars there the figure of the Princess Sadali. And she's sitting, legs crossed, head bowed, possibly meditating or something. But as you move closer, her eyes open, she looks up and stands in a smooth motion to the door to greet you. The mechanical one? I've not seen you. Greetings.
Hello. I'm Rune.
I am Princess Sadali. It is a pleasure to meet you, Rune.
So I've been told of your situation, as it were. But you must understand some hesitation.
Certainly. What can I do to help you get over your hesitation?
I'm trying to apparently I need to trust you, so I need reason to. From everything that's happened, albeit I understand that's apparently not under your ruling, I still need reasons to trust what you say. So many planets.
I have told your friend, if you take me to the fortress, I can end what is happening to your world. That seems like a reason for trust to me.
But taking you to the fortress, that's taking you back. So where, in theory, we would deem you need to be to carry on with this. You are the princess of a whole empire.
Yes. That is what gives me the power to perform the ritual. Only the Imperial family can do it. And I very much doubt you'll get my brother to do so.
Know the ritual, or just refusing?
I mean, he wants your planet destroyed for our father's funeral. So, he won't perform a ritual that will destroy the star, that will stop this, stop our father's ascension.
So, destroying the star will save your father?
No, it is part of his funeral rite. When the Emperor dies, he will ascend to godhood through the star. When the star is at its brightest, he will be cast into it. His body, his person will be cast into the star. That will ascend him to godhood. That is why my brother wants your world destroyed. That will brighten the star. The more powerful it is, the more powerful a god he will become. My father, that is.
So has this always been done with your ancestors?
This was something my father wished. It is not normal in the family, but we control the star. We can destroy it, save your world. Though if my brother has his way, your world is destroyed, the star is brighter, my father becomes a god. And presumably at some time in the future my brother becomes a god. I am cast out without my throne.
How could he cast you out?
He has already cast me out, that's why I'm here. He has control of the Navy.
So how would he gain control if it's your birthright? How did he gain control?
Too many are loyal to him. Men who are easily corrupted by gold or by promises. And when you have enough of them, they give the orders to the lower ranks. Everybody follows him, not the rightful ruler.
So how can you be sure if you go back, perform this ritual, that everyone will come back under your rule?
Well, I performed the ritual, the star is destroyed. My brother has no purpose to be there, but from what your blue friend was saying, the alliance you're forming to fight the Empire, I assume you will kill him. I will help you with that, but the only way to save your world is to destroy the star. The only way to save my throne is to destroy Zaleth. The two are linked, surely.
But it's how we're going to do that. I mean, it's not going to be an easy ride. And if you're an outcast, then you will have targets, will you not? Targets on your back.
Some in the navies are still loyal to me. If we can get close enough that they see me, or we fly the Xaryxian flag perhaps, some will turn, they won't all fight you. And with your allies, with this alliance to fight the Empire, I'm sure we can break through their fleets, get to the fortress.
Hold. a large army?
It is several ships, at least. Enough to defend our fortress. We've never needed more.
Okay. To be honest, I can't really think of anything else right now. Well, okay, I understand what you are saying, but the hesitation will not easily be swayed. For me, at least, anyway. And I'll take my leave.
Farewell, Rune. She calls as you walk down the corridor.
Farewell, princess. I'll just head back up and go and find a pew to rest on.
Alright. I mean, the crew quarters are on the same level as the brig, so...
Yeah.
Sticking your head in one of those doors will find you a hammock. Preferably an empty one. But you know, you could kick someone else out if you need to.
Just stand in the corner until they leave.
Doesn't really Filch, she's the only other crewman.
Flinch. Well, yeah. Commodore and Flinch are the only crew on the ship. Unless you count yourselves as crew. Either way, there's plenty of spare hammocks.
I feel like Kelly may at some point over 21 days want to get up and like go for a walk or something.
That is possible. Like I
Seems
said,
like-
the ship will follow the line you've put it on for the most part. You can step out of the chair and walk around and do other things as you wish.
Okay. I don't know that I'd go down right away, but at some point I probably would wish to speak with her. But I've also been paying attention to whatever she's been doing in the cells while she's been either with Rune or just...
As far as you can tell, it's nothing. She just sits there in the same position with her head bowed, unless someone comes to talk to her.
If, presumably Rune has this conversation, I don't know if it's the same day as when we had our conversation. I feel like time's becoming a little bit less linear during this jump.
Sure.
So if Rune went down to speak on the same day after we had our conversation and then went and sort of rested, presumably Rune and Sol are going to cross paths at some point when Rune awakes. Because Sol would probably want to have a conversation with Rune about that.
Small ship. I'm sure you can find each other at some point.
Sol would just want to ask. And so you have spoken with her. What do you think?
I mean, there seems to be good ideals behind what she says, and you know, it's what we need to do. We now know what can save the planets, and we need to, destroy the star. That will save all the planets.
So do you think she would now be part of our motley crew as an ally? And we can maybe remove her status as a prisoner? If she's going to help us to this extent, I feel this is a small courtesy. We can't expect to drag her around as a prisoner till we sit her on her throne, can we? I think would probably be nice for her to be able to stretch her legs. And where else would she go?
I mean, I don't think at this point, my opinion whether she wanders a ship is relevant.
Of course it is. You're my friend. You have your concerns, I understand. And you've spoken with her, and you seem to want to help her reach her goal, as you know it will help. I struggle to understand your hesitancy to give her the basic privilege of being free.
There's a need to be wary.
Of course. We've been wary. We had those ruffians on board the last ship, after we left Toril. And we were wary of those ruffians, but we didn't immediately throw them in the brig. And of course, they betrayed that trust, and, well, we know what happened to them. Why not do the same again? And if she tries to betray our trust, well, we can leave her in the Astral Sea.
Yes, well, the problem is I don't think she'll betray her. She won't betray our trust out here.
And if she betrays our trust later on down the line, she will regret it.
It's where later down the line, if we're in the midst of battle, trying to regain this tower, in her territory, with her, that's word, subjects.
Maybe. Subjects? People?
Yeah. I was going to say minions, but that's not the right word.
Minions? That's a word.
Well, consider for now, instead of thinking that far ahead, we're heading to Doom space, not to Xaryxian space currently. Why not let her have free roam of this ship at least, and we will cross the bridge of what to do when and if we head to Xaryxian space with her when we get to there. She's not going to be able to betray us to her people while she's in the middle of the Astral Sea.
Not that we know of, no.
I'm going to let her out of her cell, and I will shadow her. When I need to rest, I will come and get you, if you like, so you can keep an eye on her. Would this put you more at ease? For now?
I mean, for now, we can keep an eye on her and see what occurs.
Okay. If she does betray our trust, and it turns out that I was wrong, I will apologize then, but I cannot apologize for something that we do not know will happen. And you never know, if we help and get her on her throne, yes, we'll save Toril, and we'll save maybe other planets. But we would potentially have a friend who is an emperor, an empress of an entire empire. My word just died halfway through then, Christ. And you never know, maybe that could be a new interesting adventure.
Quite possibly. But until then.
And I will turn and head down to the cell and go see the princess to give her back her ring and to let her out.
You head down, and as you hand her her ring, she slips it back onto the same finger.
I'll just say to her, I'm aware of the capacities of this ring, and I hope you understand that I am being more trusting than my friend Rune. I would hope you would not betray this trust, as to take you home to your throne will be incredibly dangerous, And if you were to betray us once there, it would be a mistake. And I'm sure you would find that out if that happened.
Of course. I have given you my word. You help me, I will perform the ritual. Your word will be
Yes.
saved, and you can leave.
I have a worry currently. We are heading to the Resistance in Doom Space. You are a princess of the nation they are fighting against. Perhaps you do not wear this ring publicly once we arrive, and perhaps you do not refer to yourself as princess. Maybe even change your outfit if we can find something. Just so you are less obvious in case there are members of the Resistance who would mean to use you as a bargaining chip to try and fight against your brother, not knowing what we know. I think being
Anyone?
low-key about this would be safer for yourself.
Whatever you think is best, I will find other clothing if there is
For
anything
now.
suitable here.
For now, if you are an ally to us, I see no reason to keep you as a prisoner, but I will continue to, well, follow you around, shall we say, and maybe get to know you better during this trip.
That could
I'm
get
sure you
tiring.
can understand the hesitancy of all of us right now.
Of course.
I'll open the brig door.
She rises up smoothly and steps out, nods to you, and opens one of the crew quarter doors nearby, one of the ones that wasn't occupied, steps inside and lies on the hammock.
I have one question for you right now. Who is Godric Main?
That is the Rock of Bral, I think. It's a name I vaguely recognize. One of the advisors to the Prince of the Rock, I think.
Interesting.
And she just turns over in the hammock so she's facing away from the door.
I'll go down the corridor and just sort of sit.
Okay,
So I'm not like directly staring into her room, but if she was to leave, I'd see her.
fair enough. And you go on for some time, not specifically doing that, but you go on for some time during the trip. Until, unless anybody has anything else they want to do during the transit.
No,
Yeah,
just rest.
Maybe like to get Periwinkle back now she's done being Sol's hat.
Keep your neck warm.
He floats back up to you.
Yeah.
Sol, you feel a weight lift from your shoulders. Oh well, somewhere above your shoulders at least.
Some time during the 21 days, my head will pop back into place, like those poppers you can get.
There's a big dent on the top.
The outline of one of Periwinkle's like flippers or something.
I just spend the time conversing with the princess on and off.
And eventually you... Looking about the outside the silvery haze of the astral sea, you see the haze thinning as you enter a system that seemingly has no sun, no light of a star about it. The ship, as Calatrix navigates it, glides between colossal fragments of smoky grey crystals, remnants of some sort of outer shell of this system of fantastic proportions. The system itself silent and lifeless as a graveyard as you pass through. The darkness here gives a new meaning to the phrase dead of night. It takes you perhaps 3 more days to just navigate through the immensity of this labyrinth of crystal shards until eventually you catch sight of where a star should be. A yawning black vortex surrounded by a dim light. And that is where we'll take a break. You enter the centre of Doomspace proper. Seeing this black vortex where you would expect a star to be normally. And Commodore Crux turns towards you. My friend, the one we're looking for the Alliance, he's on one of the moons around here. Quickly, who has Topola's tool? Topola's orrery.
Oh, I found it on the deck a while ago. How do you use this again?
We just need to activate it. Like this. He reaches down to the base of it and turns 2 of the rings at the bottom. So I'm using myself. Turns 2 of the rings at the bottom, and the top of it opens up, and it projects what you would consider a hologram of this space. The black vortex in the centre of this image, and 2 planets that slowly spiral around it. And then 12 smaller entities. 1 close to the vortex, 2 orbiting the 2 planets, almost like moons, and further out into the system, 9 more in a cluster to one side. Those are the ones on the left side of your screen, if you're looking at the map. And you see all these planetoids and moons that are depicted on the map visible to you. Crux points at the largest of these outer moons. This moon here. Points to it with his big beefy fingers. There. That's where he is. My old comrade, Warwick Blastomov. His mission here is to create unity out of chaos. Knowing him, he's done a bang-up job. I lost contact with him a couple of days ago, but he was looking into the Artuks, plant creatures that live there, see if they'll join our alliance. He turns towards the doorway towards where Xaryxis and Spelljammer and Helm are. There, we need to go to that one.
And Callie points the ship towards that direction.
Yeah, and you orient the ship suitably. You start to travel towards this moon, this moonlet. As you draw closer, you start to see on the surface of this flashes of light as you descend further towards the moon proper. It's a wasteland dotted with occasional rising pillars of rock and arcs of lightning that leap from pillar to pillar across this place. As Crux points it out, Calatrix, and directs you to navigate the ship towards a plateau at one part of this moon that's maybe 100 feet tall, this pillar rising from the ground, perhaps a mile wide, covered with these trees and jungle foliage. A strange sight compared to the wasteland of most of the rest of this moon. It's clear to all of you that the ship can't land with the trees there, but as you move closer, you see Flinch the Herdozi has a rope ladder attaching one end to the deck. Looks back towards you. Crux nods. Right. He'll be down there talking with the Artuks. You should come with me, you should meet him.
Yes, I feel we should. Is everybody prepared?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then let us all go meet this Uruk Blastomoth.
Rick Blastomoth.
You see, Crux just checks his musket, checks there's powder in the barrel as the rope ladder is lowered.
Are you expecting a fight down there?
I'm supposed to be prepared.
I just nod.
I knew a man once, in the war. Went down a ladder with his musket pointed down, the bullet comes out, the powder comes out, gets to the bottom, he can't shoot. It's best to be prepared. And you see very carefully, positions the musket so the barrel's pointed upwards over his shoulder, and then swings down onto the ladder. And as he sets foot at the bottom, each of you climb down the ladder. Are you all going down?
I was going to say, is Zadali coming with us, or is she staying on the ship?
She doesn't seem to be. She's downstairs.
Okay.
She didn't engage in this conversation at all.
I'll head down then.
Yeah. Go down.
Okay.
Is Filch staying on the ship?
Yes, he holds the top of the ladder for you. It's fixed into two pegs on the ground, but he holds it to keep it steady.
I'll just ask him to keep an eye on the princess. Don't let her steal the ship.
Yes. Yes, Admiral.
It's not. It's just Sol.
Podrix.
Is Valis staying on the ship?
You haven't seen him for going on 24 days now. Although I suppose, you are attuned to spelljamming, Callum. If you looked around the ship, you'd see that he's in the lower stateroom. He doesn't seem to be coming out of there.
Okay. I'm just gonna whisper to Sol as I go past him. We might want to check up on whatever it is that Valis is cooking up down there.
I mean no offense to him, but I'm kind of enjoying the reprieve. It's not... the consequences of whatever he's doing, we're going to have to deal with sooner or later anyway. But for now, this is the longest amount of time I've had without having to clean up one of his messes.
This is true.
I'm sure it can't be that, but, well, I hope it can't be that bad.
Yes. I'm sure he's probably fine.
Yes. Anyway, I'll see you down at the surface.
Yeah.
Climb down the ladder.
And as you each make your way down, you see Crux at the bottom steadying the ladder, the bottom rung. He holds it while you all come down, and begin to see the jungle foliage around. No sign of this camp that Crux mentioned or the ally. As you all reach the bottom of the ladder, it starts to be pulled up by Flinch. Crux points towards the north. It comes that way. Best we land some distance away.
It's nice
Only while
to.
breathing into your mic, please stop it.
It is nice to be standing on a planet again.
It feels solid. You see him he sort of bounces up and down on the ground a bit. Feels solid.
Well, I suppose let us head on and find this camp. Do you know the way, or are we going to have to kind of find it?
Last I heard, straight through that passage.
And when was the last you heard? How long since?
Maybe 4 days before I met you at the rock. I lost the sending stone when we were attacked.
Well, perhaps there'll be a sign of where they've moved if we find where they were.
Certainly, certainly. And as you all begin to step forwards, suddenly there's a crack in the air, a gunshot ringing out. A few seconds later, you see, bursting through the foliage from ahead of you, a Gif in a military uniform. His clearly recently discharged musket, smoke leaking out of the barrel, carried before him. A look of panic on his face as he charges towards you. And he just yells, "Apologies in advance!" As he runs towards you, you see pellets of radiant light shooting out from behind him. Like something trying to strike at him as he runs. And you see, coming out of the foliage behind him, several starfish-like plant creatures. This group of them pursuing him. These are Artuks.
They look horrifying.
They're kind of cute.
One at the back that seems to be the leader of the group.
They do not look cute.
They're pretty.
You're Australian showing again.
The purple's cuter than the red one. It's got nice
They're like
eyes.
spiky octopuses.
The one on the right's got lips.
As they start to move towards you, as the blasts of radiant light shoot out around you, everybody roll for initiative.
Oh, that's not great.
Initiative. Artuk. Oh god, that's a lot of dice.
There's a lot of NPCs. And as they charge out the foliage ahead of you, you see this one at the back firing towards Warwick. The shot strikes the back of him as he's running. Rune.
Yeah.
These creatures, maybe 70, 80 feet ahead of you, charging out of the foliage behind what you assume to be your ally.
That can't do that. I am just going to guiding bolt the. Let's go with the one on the right. The
Yep.
first one on the right.
Oh, nice.
You blast out your guiding bolts. The flash of light comes from you striking your tools together, streaks towards this creature. And as the light limbs its form, you see it sort of shrinks down under it. It seems to have been quite injured by it. And
Nice. And I'm
the
going to
light
move.
reveals it for everybody else. Next attack roll made against it will have disadvantage. Will have advantage. Sorry.
Have disadvantage.
Will have disadvantage. It's too bright.
Yeah, so we're just going to move up. And then. So Raslim got 5 feet. Yeah, so Raslim's going to go up next to Warwick and just
It's hostile for some
defense.
reason. Let's fix that.
It's just
Okay.
Commodore Crux, to be honest. I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, is he? God's sake.
Yeah, he's red.
It's the
And,
default state for all tokens. It's pain in the ass.
yeah, Raslim's just going to dodge, defend, whatever.
Okay. We're not going to question the details of how Raslin got down a rope ladder, but he's here now.
He jumped.
He jumped.
He's very graceful. He might be made of metal, but he can be graceful. That's why he's the pony.
Sometimes.
Sometimes the pony appears.
All the
And
ponies.
as you're charging forwards, you hear Commodore Crux just yelling, "See, this is why you make sure the musket's loaded." As he raises musket to his shoulder, aims towards one of these creatures. The shot flies wide, shoots off into the jungle. You see him frown at the end of his musket as he starts to bite off a cartridge and load musket again. The first of the warriors moves forwards. And Rune, you're in a position to see this as the starfish-like creature moves forwards. The top portion of it opens up into a mouth. A big sticky tongue shoots out from this mouth.
Tongue in that picture?
There is not a tongue in the picture. There is a tongue in its mouth, though.
Alright.
And
No.
you see it as it flies past, and Warwick blasts him off, drops into a roll hearing this. As he bangs down onto his shoulder, the tongue flies above his head. Retracts back into the creature.
Oh my god. Okay.
Creature moves forwards a bit more. And Calatrix.
I am going to bonus action into starry form, the dragon one.
Okay.
So Kelly's body gets all dragon-like, or dragon star-like, constellation-y. There we go.
Dragon Star like.
Yes, and then I am going to cast Entangle pretty much.
On the space where the plants is, you want to put plants.
All the plants.
Put plants on the plants. Good plants.
Yes. And it's basically Kelly really liked the look of those like astral blight things, so she's like stolen their appearance. Now her entangle looks like that, except pink and blue.
Yeah. And you see the pink and blue crystal vines start to rise up and tangle around the legs, perhaps, of these creatures. You're not sure you consider them legs, but they're definitely movement appendages. You see some of these beings getting restrained. A couple seem to avoid it. You are restrained. You are restrained. As the vines grow around them, grow around some of these appendages, and they're pinned in place, and the vines all start to sprout spikes to make this difficult terrain for anybody trying to move through. Anything else from you, Caltrix?
I think that's it.
Alright. And the good man blasts him off. He's still running. As he runs past you all, he goes, "Oh, thank you for your assistance, thank you, thank you." He's running straight towards where the ladder was. He almost runs into you, Sol, in panic, because these guys are massive. And as you lean out of his way, it's your turn.
Sol will rush forwards. Okay. And then I will get the cone tool out, because I can't judge how big a cone is. We're going to get a bit closer, because that's miles away. So I'm going to move to here. And... can I don't know if there's a position where I can hit all 4 of these with a cone, is there? Or is there?
Not really, no. If you want to try and hit the 3 at the back, or if you want to try and hit the one at the front and a couple of the warriors behind it.
I'll move to here, because I can get that far. And I'm going to breathe fire at the 3 at the back.
Okay. You breathe fire at the plants.
So they all need to make a DC 14 dexterity save.
Yep, thank you. Oh, there's a 3D dice over my save number. That's not helpful. They all fail.
Excellent.
You see the crackling of fire across them from the waves of energy that you emanate.
And then this one that's next to me,
9.
I'm just going to give it a good old-fashioned punch. This will be a fire punch.
Alright. Easily hits. You slam your fist into... And it feels like you're striking maybe like a tense collection of vines. And you've trained on some, like, rolled-up plants before. Mats made out of rolled-up plants. It feels similar to striking, definitely. Like it's some sort of collection of plants rather than one solid creature.
Okay, and...
as you punch it in the face.
And I can do another attack, yep. But it's been a little while. I'm going to use bonus action, punch him again. This won't be advantage because I've already hit him.
Yes.
So we'll bop him again. 11 hit.
11 does not, unfortunately. He's still reeling from that first one, and you don't quite judge how its balance comes back. You try to swing for where it should be, and it doesn't move that way.
Alright. Oh, that's me done.
Alright. And that one is next, as it immediately just sort of... a couple of the appendages lift up and they start to strike at you. Completely missing with the first one. Second one's an 18.
That hits.
For 11 bludgeoning.
Ow.
Pretty simple. It hits you with a bit of plant. Hits you with a bit of plant, and it hurts. Don't seem to think too hard about this. You see the ones at the back starting to move, and you see the mouth of one of them flop open, and one of these tongues shoots out. Can you make me a dexterity save, Sol?
Natural 20.
Yeah,
this 26.
This tongue shoots out, and you just reach out one arm and punch it. As the tongue shoots towards you, you just punch it in the tongue.
You slap it away.
It just retracts back into the creature. Last one. Who's helpfully not restrained. You see another one of these move towards you, its appendages wriggling over these crystal vines. As it comes towards you and tries to slap at you with more of these plant-like appendages, but you're too fast. It can't hear you.
Slapping them all away.
And back to the top of the round, what seems to be the leader among these is a different colour, a different sort of shape. It seems to have almost seniority over the others. And you see this one, the larger head, that mouth also opens up. The tongue whips out towards you. Can you make me another dexterity save?
23.
Yeah, you just lean past it, just leaning out of the way of all of these blows from these various creatures. And Rune.
Yeah.
Sol's getting beaten up by trees.
Are they trees? Or there's just
The plant thing
shrubbery.
of some description.
shrubbery?
Bring me a shrubbery. That's the requisite. Every D&D session needs to have someone quoting Monty Python, clearly.
I'm gonna go. Where am I gonna go find? I'm gonna go up here. No, that's. I'm going to cast Caustic Brew. I think. Place measured tempo. Oh, how do you rotate it?
It doesn't matter, it's a line. So you're just going to do a line through that one creature. Don't worry about it. The Ray templates always work terribly in Foundry, but I know you're aiming at other creature.
For reference, I learned how to turn it just today. You hold control and you scroll wheel while hovering over the square.
It's
I'm
true,
gonna.
but it's one thing in a line, so...
I was gonna, going straight up from where I am.
Yeah, that'll be two things in a line. But anyway. Yeah, you blast this stream of acid at these creatures. One of them dodges, unfortunately. The warrior in front, retracting its tongue from Sol's defense, manages to lean out of the way. But that just means that the priest behind it didn't have any warning, as the acid slaps it straight in the face. You see the head portion of it is now covered in this acid, and it starts to burn slowly.
And then Razlim is just gonna kick this one in front of him.
Yeah, some button.
Eh.
Unfortunately, misses. Rosalind just can't quite manage to hit the thing. It's a weird shape.
Yeah. And then I think that's me.
Alright. And Crux nods towards Blastom as he runs past. Get on the ship, we'll protect you. He, having spat the bullet back into his musket, rises up his musket again. Takes another shot towards the same creature they fired at before, this one in front of you and Raslin. And goes wide and pings off Raslin's back armor. Pings off Raslin's armor plating. You just see this slight scratch across Raslin's back from this musket ball.
Man is a liability.
No, Jesus Christ.
Does he have
Swearing, pulling out another cartridge and reloading his musket again.
At least he's sober this time. Maybe that's the problem.
He was better when he's drunk.
Maybe.
This front plant thing warrior going to try and strike at you. He rises up a couple of these plant branches, neither of which have any chance of hitting you with those rolls. These branches just slap against your armor and feel nothing. Calatrix.
I am going to move forward a little bit,
Sure.
still all lit up, and then cast Guiding Bolt towards the one that's directly to the left of Sol.
Yep.
Jesus. Damage on these guiding bolts today is insane.
Nice.
Yeah, as you fire this streak of light towards it, how do you want to kill the plant thing?
Maybe just have it explode in starlight as the radiant damage. It looks like a falling thing of stars.
Yeah. You see this streak of light like a shooting star through the sky, that blasts out from Xaryxis' hand, slams into this creature, and the entire thing just pops into this cloud of stardust, sort of in the shape of this plant creature that just slowly falls to the ground. As far as you can tell, the creature itself is completely gone. Indeed. Anything else, Callie?
Yeah, I'm done.
Right. And blast him off, runs past you. Oh, thank you. See, he starts to climb the rope ladder behind you. Flinch quickly, lowering it down again. Sol.
That's me. Sol getting with that and stuff is going to move around this man. Plant. Friend.
Man.
As he goes past, he's just going to give it an elbow. The fire just seemed to do, when I did fire on them before, it didn't seem to do anything more than just hurt them, right?
They don't appear to be plant types and therefore weak against fire, no.
Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. These will be fire again, just because. So I'll do a elbow on the one I've just moved past. And I think a 10's gonna hit.
No, unfortunately, can't quite. Having to walk over the vines to get through here, you can't quite get your balance right, and you just swing over his head.
Okay, I'll use my second attack to try and hit them again. Actually, no. I'll just try to attack the priest at the back.
Okay.
Again, still fire damage. 20.
Yep, that one does strike.
Okay, cool. And then I'm going to use Flurry of Blows, and I'm going to... this one being restrained, would I have advantage on hitting that?
Yes.
One? Okay, I'll take a punch on that one.
Go for it.
Natural 20. Very nice.
Yeah, you punch through the head. Where the mouth is still slightly open as it's retracting the tongue, you just stick your fist in there, and some of the plant stuff comes out the other side. Put it that way.
Excellent. And last punch I'll do against... Well, yeah, we'll do another attack against the priest.
Okay.
My last one. And that probably will be a miss.
Yeah, unfortunately not. The amount of plant goo that's now in your hand just throws you off balance. Quickly shake it off as you miss this attack.
And that is me done.
Alright. And this warrior below you is going to spin around and try and strike at you with its plant things. 16 hits for 10 bludgeoning.
Ouch.
The other swing misses. And come back up to the top of the priest. You see one of the priest's appendages reaches down towards this creature that you've just rendered absent of some of its head parts. It clicks in its strange plant tongue, reaches down, and this creature comes back up.
This is fine.
That's not good. Comes back up and Foundry says, "This is still dead. It is not still dead. It's also not restrained because it died." The priest just glares towards you with its, what you assume are eyes, or possibly just strange markings. Rune.
Yes.
You see Sol at the back kill one of these things, and it gets back up.
Which may strange. I think right now I'm gonna try and just get rid of this one before moving up. So I'm gonna do let's try. Yeah, we're just gonna hit it. Fuck it. Just whack it.
Hit it.
I don't know why I look. Just hit everything.
That will just hit it.
And then I'll do second attack.
You just rolled the same.
Ow!
As a result, that also hits it.
Okay.
Quickly slash through some of the appendages of your long sword. 2 quick cuts through there.
And then we're gonna get a kick in.
That definitely hits.
Nice.
Start trimming the hedge a bit, and Raslin finishes it off, kicking it in the face. Wobbles back a bit. Still standing, but it's definitely hurting. Anything else from you?
No, I think that'll be it.
Alright. And you see Crooks finishing off the reload on his musket. Rises up to his shoulder.
Are we gonna hit it this time?
Calatrix, your ears are ringing because a musket just went off next to your head.
Ow.
And you watch the
Oh,
bullet
that was
fly completely wide of everything and slam into a tree. Crooks sort of looks down at you and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. Didn't notice you." Starts to tear off another cartridge and reload.
Wow.
I'm literally glowing, but okay.
Maybe that's why you can't aim. Blinded.
Like an excuse that he could use.
Sun's in my eyes.
Sun's in the eyes. Okay, and the warrior in front of you, Rune, is going to slap its branches at you again. That was 2 10s, neither of which are going to hit.
No.
Just frowns at you. Starts trying to wriggle out of these vines. Can't seem to get anywhere. Helatrix.
Kelly's gonna sort of like glare over her shoulder at Crooks and very deliberately take like 3 steps away or something. And then she's going to fire a guiding bolt at the priesty guy. Or, yeah.
Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Easily hits as you blast this streak, almost like a shooting star again, that loops around Rune, loops around the other Artuk, and slams straight into the priest. The glow around it as it clearly easier to see for your allies. And it takes a lot of damage. Anything else from you, Kelly?
I think that's pretty much all I can do at this stage, so I'm good.
You all hear blast him off climbing up the rope ladder. A lot of effort noises involved. Sol.
Don't draw attention to it, we've all been there. Sol is gonna... Seeing the priest bring one back from presumably the dead, I'm gonna take a big old punch at it. I'm just gonna make this punch be boring and be bludgeoning. I could not find where my weapon was. So that's the 12, does that hit?
This is entirely.
Try again.
Oh, you are at advantage, sorry, because guiding bolt.
Oh, of course. 25.
That does hit.
Nice.
Yeah, you slam your fist into it. For a second there, it felt like you were going to miss, but something adjusted your aim.
And then we'll give it a judo chop.
How do you wish to chop it?
I just want to slice through it with my hand.
Yeah. And you, just as you move your hand into position for a knife hand, and the slime, the goo that makes up your hand thins out as you start to move down, turning into this sort of wedge shape as you just slam straight through the center of the creature. And the 2 halves of it fall to the ground.
Nice. We'll do a flurry of blows. And I'll take a jab at the one to my left.
It's
20.
sort of barely getting up, wobbling on its feet, and you just spin round, killing the priest, just punch it in the face, it just goes straight back down.
And then as I'm spinning, I guess I'll hit the last one. 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
For 8 damage.
Punch into it. Unfortunately, this one seems to be a bit sturdier than the other two, so...
That's
Still
that's
up,
fine.
but...
That's me done.
Alright. The warrior that's to your south opens up the mouth and top part of it and lashes its tongue out at you. Give me a dexterity save.
14.
Yeah, it just goes past you as you're spinning.
Ooh.
Just slowly starts pulling tongue back into its mouth. And Rune.
Yes. Just keep hitting.
Just keep hitting. No, hitting.
Good. Try again.
Oh,
Nice.
That's hitting. How do you wish to kill it?
I'm just literally just slicing it top to bottom, just hacking at it.
Yeah. You half the watermelon, as it were. The two halves fall to the ground. It is dead.
You'd-
There's one still alive, trying to retract its tongue after it struck at Sol. Back there.
Raslim can get around and try for a kick.
Unfortunately not. The effort of running through the crystal vines just puts him slightly off balance.
Yeah. And that's me.
Alright. Good Commodore. You see him finish loading his musket, taps the butt of it against the ground, shifts the bullet down, raises it up to his shoulder, concentrates very carefully. Fires. Sol, you feel this bullet pass through the side of your head just slightly. It takes off the tiniest sliver of slime.
He's gonna kill Zell.
It's just had to raise up one hand in apology. Pulls out another cartridge from his belt, starts to reload. Calatrix.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt towards the other one, the last remaining one. And I'm also going to drop concentration on Entangle because that doesn't seem to be doing anything, and cast Healing Spirit, which is a bonus action. Oh no, I can't cast 2 spells in a thing, can I? Never mind.
Not 2 leveled spells, no.
Okay, never mind. But I will drop that on.
But your guiding
Entangle.
bolt strikes.
Sweet.
Giving advantage to the next person to fire at that one. Or hit that one, I suppose. Anything else?
No, I think that's me.
Alright, and you hear Warwick Blastimov finishes climbing onto the deck, leans over and yells down, "I'm on the ship! Get back here, before any more of them turn up!" Sol.
Sounds like a good advice. Sol is just going to do a solid kick through the creature.
Solid kick.
24 to hit, 7 damage.
Yep. Easily strikes it. 4-7.
Presumably it's still alive,
It is still alive.
so
Kick into the trunk of it. Double meaning.
while my leg's still out, I'm just going to retract the leg and stomp down at it
Alright.
and just stomp the ground.
No, you stomp into the last of these retracting crystal vines. Your foot
Oh.
slips to the side slightly.
Okay, I'm going to use that to drop into the splits and just punch it.
Low punch works. As you strike through the trunk of it and it just topples like a tree. Top part separates from the bottom part, it just falls to the ground. It definitely makes a noise. Someone was there to hear it.
Went a bit Jackie Chan there at the end.
As your plasmoid form settles down into this split. And seemingly the combat is over.
Seemingly.
I'll start heading back to the group, I guess.
Yeah. Speak to Warwick.
Start to move back towards the rope ladder. And you see up at the top, Warwick is essentially on the edge of the deck, like right at the top of the ladder. Calls down to Commodore Crux. Permission to come aboard, sir. Crux yells up. Aye, you have permission. Crux starts to walk towards the bottom of the ladder. And is everybody climbing back up?
Yeah, I'll let Commodore Crux go up and then I'll follow.
Yeah.
I'll let the others go first.
Crux sort of covers the area with his musket while the others climb up. And then, at your insistence, he climbs up first.
I'm gonna Starlight Step when I get within like 30 feet of the thingamygobby.
Yeah. Not that far. It's only about 40 feet from the ground to where the ship is anyway, but you climb up a little bit and Starlight Step the rest of the way up. Skip the ladder part.
I'll wait for everyone to get on, just in case anything else shows up, and then I'll climb up the ladder.
Yeah. As you wait for everybody else to climb up, as you swing yourself onto the ladder, you look back in the direction that blasting off had come from, and you see another crowd of these plant creatures charging down this path. Lynch starts to pull the ladder up, you feel yourself rising up. And you all manage to return to the deck of the second wind, floating 40 feet above the hostile plant planet of Arun. As you climb back up, everybody situates themselves on the deck proper, and Warwick Blastonov nods to each of you. Thank you for your timely assistance there. I assume Crux brought you.
Yes. You must be, yes. Are you injured? Are you okay?
He checks himself over. Yeah, it seems to be okay. I've run out of bullets. You see, he feels down towards his belt. He's just got empty slots in his belt where the cartridges would be.
Well, my name is Sol. This is Rune. And Razalam. Our sparkly friend is Calatrix. And you might have also seen Periwinkle with her. We and the rest of our group are hoping to join the Resistance.
Warwick Blastonov, at your service. How do I put this? There isn't a resistance. The factions of Doom Space have not had much interest in battling the Xaryxian Empire. They'd rather fight among themselves. You saw how prickly the plants are.
I felt it as well.
War is everyone's native tongue here. The only ones profiting from it, the ones most fluent in it, are okay. Make a killing by selling weapons, ships, helms, to all of the factions around here, but perhaps with your help, perhaps He seems to think about it for a minute. He strokes the bits of stubble at the bottom of his big hippo chin. I think we can work something out. There's the Merkay named Volkath, and he runs an arena, the fighting pit. If you were to fight there and win, and grant a favor from him, you'd prove that you could lead these people. Your strength. And then, if you can lead them, they'll follow you. You'll be the leader of the Alliance. If you can fight.
That's a lot of responsibility, but as you may have just witnessed, fighting is something we can do pretty well.
This could work. And here's a merchant. He may have some things that you could find of use.
Whereabouts in Doomspace is this Mokath, did you say?
Volkath.
Vokath.
That wasn't a correction, that was an answer. He's on Volkath.
Oh, I see.
The egotistical prick named it after himself. He renamed the moon. It's one of the moons of N.
Renamed the moon?
I'll take out the wild space orrery and turn it on and just say, which moon would that be?
Oh, interesting. And he points out one of the moons, a little cluster of 9 moons off to the side. That one, that's Volkath.
Well, should we... I suppose there's no time like the present. We maybe rest a short while and make our way over and prepare to win this fighting arena to prove that we can lead, and then, from the sounds of it, acquire an army? Resistance?
Very well.
Something.
I'm going to go and catch up with my friend. And Warwick and Crooks walk off towards the lower decks. You hear the clinking of bottles from the galley below.
That was quick. Saul's gonna run his hand across his head and just say, I feel like the mantle of responsibility has fallen heavily upon my shoulders these last few days. I don't wish to pull us into a fight that we don't want to, but if this is the way to kickstart the resistance, and it is fighting, which we are very good at, do you think... Rune, you know I appreciate your counsel. Please, do you think we're doing the right thing here?
Well, we came here for resistance. We came here for help. We need more to be able to take down Zealot.
Yes.
So, if we have to show off our prowess, then that is what must be.
Excellent. Calatrix, would you please take us to this moon of Vokath? If you are not needing a rest, of course, if you need to rest. But I need to have a sit down for an hour, but I should be good to go after that. And I guess...
you come to me, I could give you some healing.
I think if we need to travel to this moon, and I think if we're about to get into another big fight, it might be worth saving your strength, your spells. I can just rest for an hour, and I should be back on my feet.
Okay. How, like, can I see, like, the distance that it would take to get there?
Yeah, it's going to take you about a day's worth of travel, so
or
the rest of you would have time for a long rest. I mean, so would you, Caltrix, once you're pointing.
Yeah.
What it was
Alright.
like quick jaunt.
Not quite. Big distances in wild space.
I don't understand how space works.
But you...
Okay. I think we've probably got far enough that I could heal you and have time to trance and regain my strength.
That might be beneficial in case we are attacked while we're traveling, as seems to be the case more frequently than not.
You
I would
point
appreciate
yourselves towards the green moon of Vorkath.
Ooh, it's green.
And prepare your spells, your heals before your rest.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what level to cast this spell at. Maybe we'll do it at, like, 3rd level. That seems like a good idea. Do you need any more than that?
No, that's perfect. Thank you, Galatrix.
Cool.
And as you settle in for your rest, the ship moving off towards the green moon. That is where we'll end this session. And that is where you will all gain level 7.